Welcome to NFL. Here's your host, Dames Marvs.
Thank you, Billie Jean, for that wonderful introduction to NFL. We are in week 8 right now, but we're going to talk about week 7 first, and it was full of horrendousness and goodness the same. You notice I'm wearing this lovely throwback Denver Broncos hat, courtesy of New Era, which all my hats are New Era fitted, 7 5/8. If you want to send me one, guys, how you doing today? Oh, Ben, let me go to Ben.
I hate football.
He looks like
I hate football.
He hates football. That's fair, dude. I mean, that's fair. That's what happens when you're in NFL, really. And as looking at it as a Vikings fan, you're the closest. I mean, no, you are in NFL. Let's be honest.
Damon, can I ask you a question?
Do it.
If you were a Vikings fan right now, would you also hate football?
Dude, you're talking to a guy that just lost Game 7 of the ALCS.
So you hate baseball right now?
I don't hate baseball. I love it more than ever. But here's the thing, Ben. And you're young. You're young. You're younger than I was when Seattle won our first championship. And I endured many, many years of just terrible product on the field. And it made it all worth. And Frankie's like, please let me feel that. Let me feel it.
No, I feel it.
But, I endured all of that misery for the one time. And that was over 10 years ago, and it's still sustaining me today. That one Super Bowl victory means I will forever know what it has felt like to have won it all in my life. And I want that for you, not this year, and not against any of my teams and any of the sports that I like, but I do want that for you because I think once you get that taste, and again, you're like taste every time. You'll have an awakening, and it will be something great to behold. Frankie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and I do want that taste. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, a Buffalo fan hockey, and we have yet to win a championship, and I've been a fan well over 40 years.
Yeah. See, and when you get that, and you're close. I mean, you've been close. You can almost taste it. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can. You can almost taste it, and those losses, they still sting until we get, the win. It's all about winning.
Ben, have any of your teams ever won anything?
I mean, I think I'm the only person here who watches women's basketball. The Lynx are ever-presently good.
Yeah.
But, and my soccer team in England won the Premier League like 9 years ago now. And they're relegated now, so it almost doesn't matter. But
yeah, and we'll see, going back to the WNBA, Seattle won a couple, and the Sounders in soccer were really good for like 5-6 years in a row. So
they're good again, by the way.
Yeah. And
our teams are about to play each other in the playoffs. I'm not kidding.
Right on. Well, bad luck to you. All right. So there's a couple things that happened this week that I want to talk about before we dig into the games. And I'm wearing this hat because the first topic I want to bring up is what we witnessed. And it's kind of a weird example in this game. But the 2-point conversion, it was added in, when did they add it back to the game? I don't remember. I should have looked that up before this, but
I think the early 90s or late 80s.
It was not there for a while, and then they brought it in. And since then, instead of kicking an extra point or point after touchdown, you can elect to go from the 2-yard line, I think it is, to get 2 points. And the success rate on this is below 50% league-wide. So oftentimes coaches will use this to try and gain a point if they miss an extra point. My thought process is you never, ever chase points until you absolutely have to. And I feel this way about like field goals as opposed to going for it on fourth down. Take points whenever you can. Points are how you win the game. Like, you're not scoring points, you're not winning the game. So for you to go for a touchdown over 3 points means that you need to have those touchdown points more than you need the 3 points. If you're up 10-0 and you are like fourth and 3 from the 11-yard line, kick the field goal.
But yeah,
don't try, because then you're up 13 points. That's more than 10. Like, what's going on here? In this game, we witnessed. We'll talk about the game when we get to the game, but what I want to talk about specifically is it was 19-0 in favor of the Giants. And because it was 19, they elected to go for 2 to try and make it 21. They missed the 2-point conversion. They ended up with 19 points. Long story short, they lost the game by a single point. Now, their kicker did miss 2 extra points in that game. But one of them was, neither one of them were blocked. The first time in 40 years that's happened, where a kicker's missed 2 extra points that were not blocked in a single game, by the way. And he was let go. So,
yeah,
understandably. Right. But, Frankie, I'm going to come to you first. What are your thoughts on coaches going for, let's just say chasing points? I don't even want to say the 2-point conversion. What are your thoughts on chasing points? When do you do it, and why?
Man. I mean, you have the choice to do it whenever you want. If you score a touchdown, you're allowed to go for 2 or go for 1. My take on it is this. It's kind of mixed. It's a mixed bag, really, because look at all of the missed extra points and field goals that have happened this season. If they're blocked or if they're just off or whatever, or bunking off the uprights. So for me, if it's 4th and 3 and I'm up by 10 and it's like a 30-yard field goal, I mean, go for the field goal, get the points. But do you really? Because kickers are missing them all over the place right now. And a lot of people are going for 4th downs, even in their own end of the field. So I would say get the points. Go for the points.
Okay, you landed in the right place for me, but I wanted to counter your argument of like field goal kickers miss field goals. All right, we know that the 2-point conversion rate is under 50%. No field goal kicker is under 50%.
No.
So
can I add something?
Numbers still favor the kick.
Can I add something though?
Yeah, of course.
What if they were to make the 2-point conversion just that? If you don't need the 2-point conversion, you shouldn't be able to go for it. So if it's a 0-0 game and we get a touchdown, we have to go for 1 point. If it's like in a certain part of the game where you're down by points and you need points, you're allowed to go for like 1 to 2-point conversion a game, or something along those lines. Regulate it.
I like that idea, but I don't, because then we don't get to see things like coaches make just terrible mistakes.
True.
Like what happened in that game. That game was phenomenal because of those choices. Ben, I'm going to come to you, and then we'll do the round table argument on it. What are your thoughts on this?
I have 2 thoughts. One, going back to what we were talking about earlier, 1994 was when they implemented the 2-point conversion in the NFL. College has been doing it for a lot longer than that.
Right.
I have a bit of a weird opinion on the 2-point conversion. I think they should either get rid of the extra point or get rid of the 2-point. Fucking pick one at this point, because while I see the appeal of having both, and you guys talked about the appeal of having both, it's just the 2-point conversion to me is just always such a messy play. The conversion rate is so low. Every time I see a team go for it, I just assume they're not going to get it. It is to that point now. And I get it. It adds entertainment. But if you want that 2-point conversion play in the game, okay, fine. Get rid of the extra point. I'm fine with that if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to get rid of the 2-point conversion, what do you bring in to replace it is absolutely a question. Is it a longer field goal? What is it? I don't know. As for what the Giants did, that is just pure buffoonery. I mean, What are you doing?
I do want to come back to you, but I want to throw in a couple points here just to add a little bit of intrigue to the conversation. So, the 2-point conversion was added in '94 because the extra point was a chip shot. I mean, you never saw missed extra points, hardly ever, back in the '90s and early 2000s. Like it's only a more recent thing since they moved it back. But Ben, I actually like the idea of every touchdown you have to go for a 2-point conversion, because that adds less than 50% rate. People are gonna have to start designing plays to get that, because those points are going to be valuable, right? But here's why I think that idea sucks. I love the idea, but football has been built on a legacy of sevens, on 7 points, and being able to do the score 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. That would be gone. That whole thing would be gone. It'd move to 8s, and it would just change the legacy of the game a little too much for my liking, even though I do like the idea as a principle. I just don't like what the
Then what do you think of the idea of just getting rid of the 2-point play entirely?
Well,
just kill it.
That's my other contention here. Is I want to let Frankie go first before I give my second point, because I see him milling over some things. So go ahead, my friend.
Well, if you get rid of it entirely, that can change the game's dynamic in so many different ways, because you got defenses out there that can stop people on the goal line, that can stop people from that 2-yard line, and they get a chance to get the ball back. And if there's a certain amount of time, if you eliminate that play altogether, you eliminate a huge part of the game, especially. And I don't know games specifically. I didn't do the research prior to coming on tonight. But if you look back, there's probably a number of games where teams went for that 2-point conversion, and because they missed it, that defensive team got their offense back on the field and marched on the field and won games.
Right. So, and that's a great point, because, it's such a wide disparity of making it versus not making it that it creates actual havoc in the games. The point I wanted to make before was what I don't like about the current system where you can choose is, let me backtrack a little bit. The reason I love baseball is because it's so much strategy, right? And anything you can do to incorporate strategy into coaching another sport just makes it amazing. What we have now is you either get a 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line, or you get put back to I think it's the 17-yard line or whatever, to kick an extra point.
Yeah.
They moved the extra point back. They removed all strategy from coaches who want to maybe a trick play. Maybe think about the times where there was a fake extra point where they faked it and went for. You can't do that from 17 yards out with any kind of.
Yeah.
It's going to work. So the current system is broken to me in that it's eliminated any type of trickery.
But on the other hand, if they are back at the 17-yard line to kick an extra point and it's blocked and we get it and pick it up as that we get the ball there. So we start off with maybe better field position than that of getting a kickoff. So there's so many different. I wonder what they do at the tables.
I think they still do a kickoff, right?
No. Yeah, they do.
Oh, do
yes,
they?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Okay, but you block the points, and it's easier to maybe get some time to block the points too. I mean, it's further back. It's just, I thought it was great when they moved it back. Actually,
I mean, I don't mind it because it makes it harder and it makes it easier to miss. But what it does do is it removes any chance.
I have an interesting proposal based off this for you guys, and I think this would be fun. The last 2 minutes of a game, if somebody scores a touchdown, the 2-point conversion or the extra point, the clock is stopped for the entire play.
Wait,
here's why.
No, I didn't mean to laugh, but it just sounds nuts.
It sounds nuts, but hear me out. Hear me out. Think about it. It is. Let's just use that Giants Denver stupidity as an example. Let's say the rules were reversed, and the Giants are up by 1, and Denver has the option of going for two or kicking an extra point, they probably go for two if they score with more than a minute left in 3 timeouts. Why? Because the clock isn't going to run. And if they don't get it, well, they think they can get the ball back.
There's a lot of ways that this could go. The one thing that I'm standing true on is I like trickery and I like the 7 legacy. I think you can't mess with those things. So
I like the 7s too.
Then either back up the 2. I just think that the 2-point conversion is just so not fun to watch. Either back it up or do something with it to make it actually entertaining.
Okay, Ben. I actually agree with you. You could back up the 2-point conversion, maybe to the 10-yard line or something like that. If you want an extra 2 points and you want,
I wouldn't go further than the 7. But
okay, 7. We like 7s. 7 yards back versus 2. I'm all about that, making it a little. But at the same time, you ask any receiver or any player in the league, the closer you are to the end zone, the harder it is to score a touchdown. There's no room. Everyone's running around, and it's a big mess. Whereas if you're 20 yards back, you can see things a little differently. I don't know. I look at it differently like that. So that's my take.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think the reason it's hard is because, and this goes into my next thing that I want to talk about. I think it makes it hard because coaches get in their own head, and they have a way that they change their philosophy based on that. A screen pass that you're throwing, 20 from the 20-yard line on the opposite side of the field to just move the ball ahead. It works there too, but they just don't do it because they're in this whole thing in their head where there's only certain things we can do. So let's transition, because this is a perfect transition to what I wanted to talk about next. How many times have you guys seen a punt get downed at the 2-3 yard line and then the offense has to come out? Do you automatically know that you're going to punt? Do you feel like automatically your team's going to
unless you have a top 6 quarterback, you usually do.
I mean, this is another thing where coaches just get this thing where we can't run our offense. The entire field is in front of you. What are you so afraid of? Do you not fear turning the ball over no matter where you are on the field? It's going to happen if it's going to happen. Just run your fucking offense, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so boring to watch your team knowing that they're going to run up the middle 3 times and punt if they don't get it. I hate that. I hate coaches that do that. I can't think of a coach that doesn't do that.
It's 28 of 32 teams in the league. It's most of them.
Ben, I'll let you go on this one first. What are your thoughts on this? On
what?
On that whole situation.
I think it's... See, what's funny to me is for as many problems as college football has, and they have a million, both of these leagues have their own unique problems. This is less of a thing in college football because I think college football coaches just are willing to be a lot more ballsy in a weird way, which is so weird because you'd think it'd be the other way around because college coaches get fired for way less than NFL coaches do, which is funny. But I don't know. These coaches need to get some balls and just run their freaking offenses. I agree with Damon.
Oh, great. Frankie, what are your thoughts?
I didn't know it was a thing. For me, I always thought that if you got the ball down at the 2-yard line, that you just try to run your offense and get the hell out of the end zone and make a play.
When you have Josh Allen, that's what you do.
Even without Josh Allen, I would think if you're a football team and that's where you start, and there's plenty of room for you to run over the slants and get your receivers active real quick, or your tight ends, or your running backs out of the backfield. I mean, I think that I wouldn't think any other way.
Let me throw some perspective at you, Frankie. Here's the things that can happen. If you get a hold, which happens everywhere on the field, if you get a hold in the end zone, it's a safety and the other team gets the ball. Your drive is killed. You've given up 2 points plus the ball. That's terrible. If you intentionally ground the ball. That's safety. If you get
Well,
tackled,
just don't do that.
I mean, you shouldn't do that anywhere on the field, but it happens multiple times a game,
Yeah.
usually. I mean, it's very rare that there's a very clean football game played in the NFL because the ball is shaped so weirdly that it bounces every which way. But I think coaches just become terrified that they're going to give up the 2 points and the ball. That they're doing everything possible. They're running plays that they know won't get stopped behind the line, and usually it's a run right up the middle. It drives me nuts. I hate it.
I never knew it was a thing.
Let's move on. All right, Mike Evans broke his clavicle on Monday Night Football.
Retired.
I don't really. That just makes me so sad that you say that.
It makes me sad too because I love the guy. I think he's
One of the
amazing.
all-time greats. That's
Oh yeah.
probably the quietest Hall of Fame receiver since maybe Steve Largent.
First ballot.
Honestly. The thing that really breaks my heart about this is that it's going to end his streak of 1,000-yard seasons at 9. That sucks. That really sucks. Because he was on pace. Everyone knows he was going to have he was going to be the only receiver to have that many. But it is what it is. I mean, it's the game of football. It's a brutal game, and he should have drank more milk, I guess.
Yeah, right.
All right.
That's bad.
New York Giants released their kicker. His name's not even worth mentioning to me.
Whoever.
I'm not going to mention him by name. I'm just going to say the Giants released that kicker that missed.
The first person they shouldn't release, they released.
Right. Bryce Young, injured, going to miss his game against the Jets. That's okay because the Jets are countering by starting Tyrod Taylor instead.
Boom. Take that.
Justin Fields.
Talk about a poop bowl.
Yeah, poop bowl. A bowl of poop, everybody. And then this is the one that I wanted to ask you guys about before we dig into this week's games. And then we'll move on. Tyler Lockett, longtime wide receiver for the Seahawks, signed with Tennessee in the offseason when Seattle released him because they didn't want to pay him $17 million. He's certainly not worth that at this stage of the game. I don't know what Tennessee paid him. I imagine it's somewhere around 5. But now that they've granted him, he's asked for and they've granted his release. He's a free agent as of today. Frankie, where do you see potential landing spots for Tyler Lockett? What was in his... He clearly wants to continue playing, but what was in his head? Who is he looking at, do you think?
Jeez, in his head, get the hell out of Tennessee because we suck and we're never going to win here. I'm getting old and I got to go somewhere. I don't know where he will end up. I don't know. I know I heard very vaguely today that he requested a release and got it. And he's a free agent, but I haven't heard too much chatter on where he's going to go. So could he end up with a Pittsburgh? Could he end up in a New England? Could he end up going somewhere that's completely crappy, just like Tennessee, for the money? I don't know. As a Buffalo Bills fan, I don't know if I would care to chase him based on his age alone.
Oh, man. Clearly you've not watched much of Tyler Lockett. He is very reliable. I would say, I don't think he's coming to Seattle, but I would say right now that I would cut Cooper Kupp to take him back.
Oh, yeah,
If we
he
could.
knows the system.
Cooper Kupp he's invisible in our offense. But I mean, he can't deny what he's ever done on the field. That's just a credit to Tyler Lockett. All right, Ben. Those are two interesting places that you said, Pittsburgh and New England. I wouldn't have ever even imagined that, those being landing spots, but I suppose the entire league is fair game. Ben, what do you see here?
I want to add some commentary to this whole Tyler Lockett situation.
Go ahead.
There are multiple reasons I think he asked for his release. One of them being he only started one game for Tennessee. That's not great. He had 21 targets, 10 catches in 7 appearances. He only started one of those games. I think a lot went into this. I don't know where he goes. Part of me just thinks he's going to end up on a team like I don't know who's a contender right now that needs a receiver. Indy? Could he go to Indy for the minimum? I mean, he's getting paid for 2 contracts. He's getting paid by Seattle and Tennessee. He can go wherever he wants, and he can take the league minimum.
Miami.
One of these contenders that need a receiver is going to go get him. Could it be New England? Certainly. Do I think he helps New England? Not necessarily. I think he's a little past being able to help that team. Maybe a year or two past being able to help that team, really. The only places I could see him going where he would maybe make an impact is like a Buffalo, someplace where they can kind of hide him for 90% of the time that he's there, and then just throw him out there when they need him.
You know, I really like the thought of him on Buffalo. I think he would do, because you've got a really professional quarterback there.
Yes.
But
Go ahead. I want to.
But he needs to be in a system where they can hide him. That's my whole thing. Because I don't know if you guys have watched Tyler Lockett any of the last 2 years. That guy, when he's exposed in the middle of the field now, just doesn't have it anymore. I don't know. You got to get him somewhere in a system
I
where they can
watched
hide
him
him.
as late as last year, so I kind of have a pretty good idea of what player he is.
You agree with me then?
We weren't going to pay him $17 million when we had DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba. He got forced out by 2 really Hall of Fame caliber wide receivers. And let's be honest, JSN is playing out of his mind right now. He's definitely a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Here's where I think. I think my first is the obvious choice. Pete Carroll probably called him immediately and was like, "Hey, Gino sucks." Remember that? Remember when you played with him for like 3 years? You want to come?
Are we just getting like the early 2020 Seahawks reunion in Las Vegas?
It makes sense. It's an obvious thought.
Jesus.
It was the first obvious thought that I had in my head. I don't know if there's any interest there on either party. But another thought that came into my head was the 49ers, who are banged up at wide receiver.
Purcell, yeah, I thought of that.
He would be an absolute traitor.
What about the Broncos?
He would be an absolute traitor if he did that, first of all. But secondly, he didn't request a trade to go to another shitty team. Like, he wants to participate for somebody that's good. Especially, it's not about money. He owns a realty company in Seattle. He's going to come back to Seattle once he's retired. That's where he lives. Texas and Seattle. But my most honest thought right now is that he may go to Washington and be reunited with Bobby Wagner. They have lost every receiver. But here's another thing. Now that Mike Evans is hurt, which is why I brought him up earlier, is Tampa Bay is now another landing spot. There's a lot of open places for Tyler Lockett to go. He probably saw that, and he's like, this place sucks. They're not using me. I know what I can bring to a team. And there are plenty of options for Tyler.
I want to throw out another possibility here. I think it is very possible that 2 or 3 weeks go by and nobody makes Tyler Lockett an offer, and he just decides to hang him up. I don't think that's impossible.
No, it's not. It's not impossible.
I think this really could be it for Tyler Lockett, and I don't like saying that because I really like him, but I legitimately do think this could just be the end. And again, we don't know.
Let's talk about that, because I don't know what the league thinks of him. All I know is what I saw the last year in Seattle, and that was him being phased out by 2, like I said, first ballot Hall of Fame type wide receivers in DK Metcalf and JSN. I think Tyler Lockett has certainly done enough to be in the Seahawks Ring of Honor at some point. But I also think this: if in fact Ben he gets no offers and he remains unsigned, I do think the Seahawks will give him a 1-day contract so he can retire a Seahawk.
I think that's the most likely outcome.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it, because I do hate that he plays for another team. I mean, he made some of the greatest plays in our history, and it was he and Russell had this amazing connection. And not Malik Neighbors being injured, Russell Wilson. being there.
He's not going to a team that
Wilson
isn't.
goes somewhere else. Whatever. There's a lot of ins and outs, man. To
He's
quote,
not going to a team that isn't making the playoffs. Not
I would
happening.
imagine that was his thinking. Is like, if I'm gonna continue on, it's gonna be for somebody that matters. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to week 7, football games.
What an awful week.
God dang it, dude! I thought it was a
Awful.
great week. I thought it was a great week.
I did not.
I know you never. I mean, let's see if we have a good week all season for you. I will be absolutely dumbfounded if we come.
It's not going to be this week. I promise you that.
Ben comes in and says, "That was fun to watch."
Hey, drop in the comments if you think he's ever going to have a good week.
I feel like football for Ben must be like watching like a surgery that you don't want, like watching your own surgery happen. Like, Ben, you're awake for your own surgery.
That's what is called noon when the Vikings are playing on a Sunday.
Holy shit! We had how many games this week?
Too many.
14.
14. So I was 10-4. Ben was 10 or 12-2.
Jeez.
How did you pull that off?
Because this league is horribly predictable right now.
You little ninja. Ben, you were, let me remind you, you were 8-7 last week, so shut your mouth about the predictability of this league.
I can tell you the 14 playoff teams right now, and I'm going to get like 12 of them
You know
right.
what? We'll do that on the next episode. I want you to, because I want to give Frankie an opportunity to give, and then we'll go about it that way. I'll have mine ready to go as well. All right, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
What?
Ben, dude, here's the thing. Frankie, you and I both were like, Aaron Rodgers is going to wail on these guys.
No, I didn't say
And
that.
Ben's like, he's down. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Me and Ben said, and you were like, no, I am riding the cock of Joe Flacco.
Yep.
You've been doing so all season long.
Yeah, great.
On-
Plug and play.
On Joe Flacco's nuts. And I love the phrase that you just used, which is plug and play. Everybody's like, why did they go get Joe Flacco? Well, he's been around since the second year football existed. He knows every play in every playbook. He knows how to run it. He has ran it. He's ran it at the highest level.
Yep.
And while he may be declining in mobility and skill, he's still the best option as a plug and play. I'm assuming that's why you made that call, but I'll let you go ahead and stand on your pedestal.
He's a good fit for that offense right now. And I think they design a playbook for him and who he can get the ball off to quickly. And I don't think you saw totally what Joe Flacco can bring to the Bengals. I think you got a taste of it when he played against Aaron Rodgers, but I think you're going to see a little bit better fit there for him than he had in Cleveland. That's for sure. I like Joe Flacco. I think he's a journeyman that's going to go down in history for being a Hall of Fame journeyman.
You know, that's a big win for them because they're taking Pittsburgh out of the AFC lead. They would have been 5-1.
That's why he was so mad. Remember, Mike Tomlin was mad.
Yeah, they would have been 5-1.
Yep.
I know. Frankie's like laying out his case, and then he's like convincing the jury very slowly. But keep in mind, Frankie J, you're on a pedestal now, but we're not even halfway through the season, so
Don't worry.
we could
Don't
very
remind me.
chop that pedestal out from under you very quickly.
Joe Flacco could be on the Bills by the end of the year.
Don't say that because that means the worst has happened in your scenario. So let's not do that because I think
That means your world's ending if Joe Flacco ends up in Buffalo.
And I'm just saying, if Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are not playing football every Sunday, the league sucks. I mean, it's not fun football.
No.
And that would make Ben right, which he's not. Okay, Ben, Why did we pick Pittsburgh? Why were we like? Because I know that you hate Aaron Rodgers and you think he's old as dirt and can't win. So why did we do it? Why did I listen?
Because the Bengals suck.
I mean, yeah.
As does 75% of the league.
They have an absolutely loaded roster on offense.
They don't have an O-line.
Well, apparently that doesn't matter when you can get the ball out of your hands in under 2 seconds.
I guess. I don't know. Dude, I fell asleep at halftime of this game. I did not care.
I mean, that's fair. That's really fair. All right, let's move on.
I don't think it's fair.
A bad taste in my mouth. It was a 2-point victory for the Bengals, 33-31. Pittsburgh falls to 4-2. Bengals move up to 3-4, surprisingly.
Yes, second place in the north there.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable in the north. They brought a little bit closer to their rivals. All right, then we've got London. Ben was actually awake. I know for a fact. He was awake prior to this game because we spoke with him. But the Jaguars just weren't ready for this. They lost 35-7. Frankie, your pedestal falleth.
Yeah, well, I was trying to give your guy some love.
What? I mean, if I hate the Rams as much as I hate the Rams, and I still wasn't going to give my guy some love, maybe don't do it. Don't do it next time.
Yeah, I'm not doing the sloppy seconds anymore.
35-7. This was just Ben. You said it best at the beginning of the show, so I'll let you say it again.
What did I say?
Shellacking.
An embarrassment of a game.
Oh, yeah. Something I said before the show that I think was equally funny. I'm surprised England has not declared war on the United States of America for the way that game went.
That's right. And I don't know if I said it. The Rams versus Jacksonville.
This was... I want to point out, I watched the first 10 minutes of this game, and then I went for a walk. The walk was more entertaining than the football.
But wait a second. I'm going to throw this in there. Matt Stafford had a record-breaking day, if I'm not mistaken, threw the most touchdown passes by a certain quarterback for one game ever. There's a fact, and he broke some records. So Matt Stafford had an amazing game.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Why should we
Hold
care?
on, I want to say before I need to make my joke before it's irrelevant. For those of you watching, let us know what fact he's talking about because he doesn't know.
Yes, I do.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I know there's a record, so let's give props to the record. I don't know what the record is, but there was a record. You know that much. So,
Can we stop talking about this game now?
almost. Go ahead.
I'll find the record.
You were saying something. Is that all you wanted to say? Is let's move on.
I'm begging you to move on from
All
this
right.
game.
So Rams, actually, we know what they are at 5-2. They have a co-lead with two other teams for the division there, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who fall to 4.
Suck.
But here's the thing: before we move on, Ben, like, who is this team? They rattled off a couple of good wins, and then they lose 2 in a row. Are they just going to be an inconsistent mess all year?
They could have easily lost to Kansas City.
But they didn't. That was a big win. Go ahead, Frankie.
I got the record here, wise guys. It says here, Stafford threw 5 touchdown passes, setting a new single-game record for the NFL's International Series, which began in 2007. This marked his first 5 TD game since 2015 and highlighted his continued elite play at the age of 37. So he broke a record.
I still hate his guts.
Well,
I ask, why should we care?
No, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, guys. He was a Hall of Fame quarterback before he joined the Rams.
yes,
I mean, honestly,
he deserves it.
well, he's been an absolute warrior. He's fought through every type of pain you can. I just hate that he's a Ram. That's the reason I hate his guts now.
Didn't he play with like 2 broken bones in his spine at one point?
Broke his ribs and he kept playing.
Yeah, he also broke something in his back and kept playing.
Well,
Dude's
that's what's happening.
I was just sharing a fact.
Let's move on. A sure fact. We got New Orleans at Chicago. All three of us were on Chicago. We knew. We knew. This Bears team is coming up, you guys. I'm not saying that
No,
they're
they're not.
good.
No, they're not.
4-2. Don't fuck with me. They're 4-2, dude.
I don't care what their record is. Have you watched that team play football?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben.
Ben, are you forgetting that they beat Washington in Washington last week?
The Jaguars have a winning record.
Okay, but you can't tell me the Jaguars are a terrible team either. They had a bad
Yes, they are. Did you watch that London game?
I did.
The
It was a
Rams
bad
aren't
game.
good.
Dude, the Buffalo Bills have lost 2 games in a row. They're your fucking Super Bowl pick.
Yeah,
they a
the
bad
Bills will be
team?
fine.
Are
The
they a
Bills
bad
will be
team?
fine. The Bills will be fine.
I'm sorry, but you're just pissing me off with this bullshit about every team that's bad. There's good teams in the league, and most
There's
of them
5 of
are winning
them.
records. All right,
There's 5 of them.
we all picked the Bears. The Bears won. They're 4-2. The Saints are 1-6. All right. Saints are bad. The Saints are a bad team. If you say that, I will say yes. Ben, you've nailed it. The Saints
This was 2 bad teams beating the piss out of each other.
So let's move to 2 bad teams playing against each other. With the Dolphins, go to Cleveland.
How did it get worse?
Because it did get worse. Another 1-6 team now against the 2-5 Browns. Well, they were 1-5, and they won this game. Dude, the Dolphins. How is Mike McDaniel have a job right now?
Contract that franchise.
How
I'm
does
begging you.
How does he have a job?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about his pants, but how does he have a job?
I think there's some behind-the-scenes agreements that have been made that Tua is obviously not going to be their starting quarterback very much longer past this season, if he even makes it through healthy. There is a believer within that franchise, within the 4 walls of that building. There's a believer that Mike McDaniel is still the guy that's going to take him to the promised land. And that's all you need with an organization that's run like the Dolphins. If there's a believer, then there's a, we're going to get you this, so keep playing and doing your best and don't sound like an idiot at the post-game podium. So there's a believer in that building. I don't know why he hasn't been fired yet. You'll fire a Bill Callahan, who, in my opinion, is a better coach. Not record-wise, but than that.
My sock is a better coach.
God. So there's a believer in that building. That's my answer.
Speaking of believers, you and I both picked Miami, so
I know.
we're stupid.
I'm a believer too. See, stupid.
We're stupid.
The 2 cats asleep in my living room are better football coaches than Mike McDaniel.
2 cats collective, but if you split the cats up, they're just not up to par.
No, I'm serious. I think one of them could definitely win at least 3 games by now.
All right, let's move on. Ben, you picked correctly. Frankie and I will forever live in sadness for our egregious choices. All right,
No, it
Kansas
gets worse
City
for me.
hosts Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders.
Jeez.
What an embarrassing team.
dumpster fire, dude. I was
What
very,
an embarrassing organization.
I was very excited for this season, and then it's just now I'm excited for them to be. I think they're benching Geno Smith. Finally, I don't know what that presents for them at quarterback.
Do they want Carson Wentz?
I can't imagine anyone wants Carson Wentz.
I don't.
So the Chiefs housed them, dude. 31-0. We all picked Kansas City. I really hope Tyler Lockett doesn't end up in Las Vegas because he'll just be another black hole spot on the Seattle's record because they're claiming all of Seattle's stuff.
He won't go there.
I hope he doesn't end up in Kansas City because I don't want to dislike Tyler Lockett.
I mean, they got their guys back now, so they're firing on all pistons. Clearly, 31-0. 4-3 though, so they still got work to do. All right, the Eagles and the Vikings. Vikings fell to 3-3. Eagles 5-2. We all correctly picked the Eagles. Ben, did it break your soul to pick against your own team?
No, I'm used to it.
Is it closer than you thought it was going to be?
No, the game was never competitive. The score was close because the Eagles continue to be inconsistent. In-game inconsistency from the Eagles again, and that's the only reason it was close. There were blooper reels of Carson Wentz just absolutely sucking. If I was not doing this show, I would have stopped watching football after this week. No, I'm not kidding. No, that's not hyperbole. It's not some bit for the show. If I was not doing this show every week, this would have been the week I stopped watching the National Football League. For the rest of the year, I would have tuned out. I wouldn't care. The only thing keeping me invested anymore is this show. So I'm glad I'm doing this show, I guess.
Let me throw something at you, Ben. The difference in the score of this game is that interception.
It's a 6-point game.
That point, yeah, that pick six is the difference.
Because the Eagles tried to throw the game away. Again.
All right, Ben, you're 3-3. That means you got 11 games left. How many do you expect to win out of those 11?
1 or 2. I'm not kidding. If JJ McCarthy comes back, I think we're actually going to be worse.
I mean, Frankie, he could be bad. I mean, he looked bad in the first 2 weeks.
I mean,
really did.
This team is terrible, guys.
He looked like
we're terrible.
I'm on the show to laugh.
I don't know why I'm on this show. After this week, I'm not sure.
Frankie,
What?
did you watch this game at all?
You shouldn't have.
I watch Red Zone. I watch all the games.
All right.
That's why I knew it was a 6-point game. 3-3. I mean, there's teams is 3-3. There's still 11 games to go. There's a lot that can
Frankie,
happen.
how much of the Vikings have you watched this year?
I'm not a Vikings fan, but they're not the worst team. There's some teams that shouldn't even be on the map as far as having an NFL team. But the Vikings, I think.
Okay, look, on paper, that roster is loaded. We are loaded roster-wise. We do not have a quarterback. I have watched every snap of this Vikings team. This is the worst Vikings team I have seen since the Leslie Frazier years, and that's not an exaggeration.
Jeez.
This team is checked out.
Ben, the trade deadline's coming up. All right.
Can we go get Joe Flacco? I'd be for that.
I was going to say, is there any quarterback, and you know that he's not going to be moved again. Is there any
God help me.
feasible choice that you could foresee?
Can we go get Smack Bones? Fuck it, go get Mac Jones.
I've always kind of wanted to see Russell Wilson play for the Vikings.
That's not going to happen. Kevin O'Connell doesn't like ego, and that guy's the king of it. That's not going to happen.
All right. I mean, it would be fun. With those weapons, Russell Wilson can still get the ball.
Do you know what would happen if Russell Wilson ended up a Viking? It would go great for a month, and then he'd get cut because he stepped out of line and O'Connell got sick of him. That's what would happen.
I would, dude. I love the drama. I would watch that.
It would be fantastic drama. There would be a 30 for 30 made about it, and it would be great. But it's not going to happen.
I honestly think that they should make that call. They should make the call.
I think it would be hilarious.
I mean, if you're only going to win 1 or 2 games without him, I mean, you could
We'd probably only win 4 or 5 with him, to be fair.
I'd get him for a 5th round pick right now.
I don't think he'd cost that much.
Well, there you go. I mean,
10th round.
Do it. All right. Let's move on. We're all right on that game.
We might be able to get Russell Wilson for cash at this point.
Carolina goes to the Jets, who are 0-7. Wow.
Oh, my God.
No, the coach didn't wear capris this week, and it still didn't matter. He's
They
doomed.
put up 6 points, you guys. Carolina put up 13.
Guys, I'm really convinced that any of the three of us could have won the Jets a game as their head coach by now. Any one of us could have won the Jets at least one game.
Not
It
me.
may have only been one game, but we would have won at least one by now.
Not me.
Well, that's because they're in your division.
No. I would have said no to the job.
He's like,
I wouldn't even went there.
he's like, I don't.
Okay, Frankie, what jobs would you say yes to?
Well, not them.
Would you go to Jacksonville?
What? No, hell no. Definitely not.
Yeah, because then you could make a law for Trevor Lawrence to cut his hair.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah,
Like, if you want to play on this team, you're gonna have pretty hair.
buzz cut, buddy.
You're gonna have man hair.
Yeah, man hair. Manageable.
Oh man,
Grow a porn stash while you're at it.
we all got Carolina because we have no respect for the Jets, and the Jets don't even respect themselves. So I don't see us gaining any respect for the Jets moving forward.
No.
They're 0-7. Amazing. They're the only team that is defeated.
They
In all
are.
honesty, let's face it. Carolina's not a horrible team.
They're 4-3.
They're sitting at 4-3. They're above 500. They're not exciting, but they got Rico, that running back. They got a defense that's lights out in some areas. If you watch some of the football, so I have to chime in here about that. It's
My
the
only
Jets
contention
are
with the,
not only. Well, let me finish, man. Not only are the Jets shitty, but the Carolina Panthers aren't that horrible either. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. Go ahead. I didn't mean to get all raged up.
my hang up with the Panthers is the same hang up I have with my team. It's at quarterback. I don't trust Andy Dalton, and I definitely do not trust Bryce Young.
Well, regardless of the quarterback play, they are 4-2. I mean, or 4-3. Excuse me. So
And the Vikings are 3-3 and haven't had one good quarterback game yet. So anything can happen.
Yes.
I hope that he can maintain there for years to come. But let's see if they can. They don't necessarily have to win games right now, but let's see if they can be competitive in those games. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. Dude, Frankie, this I know it was the Tennessee Titans who are 1-6 now, but the Patriots are becoming a decent team.
Yep.
You have to be somewhat concerned.
I will say this: when I haven't done fantasy football, a paid league, in quite some time. I might take a minute here, but I signed up for a paid league this year and took Josh Allen. Obviously, I picked 14 out of 14, so I got 14th pick and then first pick in the second round. I got Josh Allen, so I had to put in my backup this week, which happened to be Drake May. I picked up Drake May as my backup quarterback. Played him this past week, and he scored me a ton of points. Had a great fantasy week. So am I a little fearful of being in the same division with this guy a little bit now, and the charging hot Patriots who are actually above us with the tiebreaker in the division? Yeah, I'm a little. Do I have a little concern for the first time in 8 years? Yeah, I do have a little concern. Is our run?
It feels good to be looking over your shoulder a little bit.
Well, not really, but okay.
I mean, dude, I don't understand fans that just look at their schedule and they're like, "Oh, that's great. That's a game where you can beat up on people." Like, I want like the toughest schedule. Like, I want to play all the teams, and I want them to have all their players because injury. Like, I don't want to be like, "Oh yes, he's out," so we don't have to face him this week. Like, I hate that shit, man. I want to beat somebody at their full. I mean, and that just comes from years of having a terrible team.
Okay, I was going to just jump in and say I'm a Bills fan, and I want to annihilate every fucking team we play. 100 points to nothing.
I would love that, but I would love them to be like the better teams of the league.
I'm still in the Drake maybe
You can
camp.
say the same thing, but then wish that you were playing Kansas City and that was true. And then you go play Cincinnati and you just wail on them, and then you go play Dallas and they wail on them. You go play the 49ers and you wail on them. Like, that's what you want. I mean, that's the feeling that you want.
But being a Bills fan, like you being a Seattle fan, the teams that we should go out there and annihilate in our sleep, not even have a nap prior to the game or eat that morning, we go out and we get crushed. So we play better against the better teams anyways. So you're kind of right in a way. play the best team every week, and maybe you get the best team.
A lot of teams, and I don't. It's not something that their coach is telling them, but they play down to the competition, or they play up to the competition. They play at the level of the competition a lot of times, and that's true on both sides. Because if a bad team is able to hang with a really good team, like the Vikings hanging with the Eagles this week. It's that. Ben said it when he was talking about it. He said they played bad. Philly played bad, and that's because they didn't respect you.
But Philly didn't.
Nor should they. No, nobody should.
Patriots rolled Tennessee. Frankie picked Tennessee.
Was being nice.
Can I say something about New England?
Yeah,
I think they're a playoff team.
I think so.
Thanks.
They're not winning that division, though.
No, I don't think so either. But
this is going to fall apart somewhere. They're in a
years.
really easy part of that schedule.
I'm worried about years moving forward with just Josh Allen's contract and whatnot. Like, is Buffalo going to be able to retain players around him? He's great, dude. And I've said this many times. As long as Josh Allen's on your team, you're a contender. But you still do have to put 52 other guys in uniform, and they have to be somewhat competent. But the Patriots rolled the Titans, thus leading to Tyler Lockett's asking for a trade. All right, guys. Me and Ben picked New England because we were smart. Frankie said, I don't like New England, so I'm not picking them. That's got to be what happened.
Well, was being nice.
I'm still firmly in the camp of Drake, maybe. Let me see 3 years of this, and then I'll believe in him.
All right, that's fair. I mean, yeah. Because we saw C.J. Stroud come out of the gate. Was amazing. We saw Jaden Daniels come out of the gate. Was amazing.
Mac Jones looked better than this his first year. Let's remember that.
Okay. And Mac Jones, the tail of the tape is still out on him. I mean, Brock Purdy just got huge money, and he's basically the same player.
Yeah, they're the same quarterback. They're like the 16th. They're the joint 16th best quarterback in the league.
Let's move on to the Giants and the Broncos. Now, this Jackson Dart Scattaboo draft, I honestly believe the Giants won the draft. They won the draft, hands down. With these two guys are carrying this team right now, and that can't be. All right, they're going to have some other way of making ends meet. Frankie, tell me what you saw in this game.
A complete meltdown, first of all. Dumb coaching decisions and relying solely is kind of a oxymoron, relying on two people, that of Jackson Dart and a Scatterpoop, both rookies. You got to depend on the whole team. You got to have a whole organization that's bought into each and every one of. You got to be a unit. So to rely strictly on these two guys to be the answer to the prayers of longtime New Jersey Giants fans. What I saw was a team that has potential, but I also saw a team that can lose just as fast. And the way they lost, they should be ashamed, and they should go back and reevaluate that whole franchise. As far, coaches down. What happened? How did this happen? How are you up by so many points and you start doing stupid stuff? Like, what's going on? It's not It's not the New Jersey Scatapoos. It's the New Jersey Giants.
Can I ask a question, Damon? Did you watch this game?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't get to see this game because I don't have Sunday ticket or whatever. No. How horrible was the clock management by the Giants in the fourth quarter? It just had to be atrocious.
Well, there was a lot of things that led to this, and I want to go back to them being up 19-0, and when they get
you should have just ran the ball. You have Scattaboo. What are you doing?
Got up 19-0, and then you decide to get cute and go for two, and instead of the extra point, and they lost by one. That's why I maintain my thoughts on you don't chase points in the middle of the game. Is
Dayball going to have a job when we record this show next week?
I think giving up 33 points in a quarter is almost impossible. I remember in Super Bowl 48 when Percy Harvin returned the touchdown to open the second half. It was then 31-0, and I remember falling to the ground crying because I was like, there's no way you can come back from this in 2 quarters. If I would have seen this game prior to that, I would never have thought, okay, the greatest offense of all time is not coming back. I would have been like still nervous. But watching, and the fact that Denver's the one that did it is even creepier to me.
But you also have to keep in mind, too, you have 2 different kinds of coaches. You have a Brian Dable who's still, in the eyes of Sean Payton, green as a head coach. Yeah, he's been a great offensive coordinator. He's been around. He was Josh Allen's original offensive coordinator and was part of making Josh Allen who he is now. Then he moves on to the Giants, has 1 or 2 good seasons. Now he's doing what he's doing. So who is he really as a head coach? He's obviously not that impressive. To ask if he's still going to be around after this year, I think it's still a little bit too soon because they do have a little bit of action going on with Jackson Dart and that of Scatapoo. So I think he's safe until at least the end of the season. If that's the question we're asking here, is he safe as a head coach? And what do I think about the Giants? He'll be here till the end of the season. A decision will be made then based on their record and production.
Funny, Frankie, because you have to remember, he was the one that made the decision to start Russell Wilson and go 0-3, 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 0-3. He made that decision.
Right.
And so that's already on his slate. And then he lost to New Orleans after beating the Chargers. And then they beat the Eagles. And then they lost to Denver in this fashion.
Yep.
It was coaching. It was coaching that did this. Like, the way that they called the game. Like, I realized that Jackson Dart threw an interception in the 4th quarter. Why is he throwing in the 4th quarter when you're up 19-0?
Shouldn't be. Should be running it.
God damn, dude. That's coaching.
I'm
Whether
no
it's
doubt.
coordinators that called it, the buck stops with him. So I don't know what their temperature is on him. He did win Coach of the Year once. And he was great with Buffalo, right? But I don't know what their temperature is on him, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I think his job is safe for the year.
I don't think his job is safe at the end of the year. I just don't see the Giants as a whole making a midseason move. They're not known for it.
Yeah, because who do you go to?
Who are you going to, yeah. Who's
You have to be like, lost the locker room. And I think with the Jackson Dart Scatterby thing, there's kind of still some excitement there.
Yes.
So I think he might be right but I honestly don't think he'll be their head coach going into.
Can I propose a scenario where I think Dayball gets fired on the spot?
On the spot? Yeah, but don't be like, he shoots in the middle of the field. Make it something.
No.
Was he on the Epstein list?
Yeah.
That would be bizarre. If that came out, I mean, that gets you fired, right?
Jeez.
I hope. No. If Pete Carroll gets fired in Las Vegas, I think the Giants get very aggressive and go get him.
Not firing Carroll in Vegas.
I think they might. He's the one who wanted Geno.
I feel like I don't know about that. I think Pete Carroll was a hot commodity before this year because of what he did in Seattle, but everybody's looking at him now going, just be done. Just hang it up, including myself, which is sad because I love the man.
I don't think they're going to fire him, though.
I don't either. I don't want to Russell Wilson him. Like, I don't want him to hang around so long that everyone just hates him and he loses his Hall of Fame credentials at that point. Yeah, all right. So let's move on. That was a fucked up game, dude. They lost on a missed extra point that would have sent them to overtime.
When I saw the final score of that game and I saw the box score, I laughed maniacally to the point where my roommate asked me if I was okay. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, let's just close out this game by saying this. What if they scored that touchdown and instead of kicking an extra point, they would have went for 2 for the win?
They would have won by 1.
They would have won.
If they would have got it.
They might have won.
Though that goes right back to your 2-point conversion because, yeah, if they score and get the extra point and don't go for 2, then we're talking overtime.
Yeah.
Right? So either way,
So if you're going to lose on a missed extra point, you might as well win or lose on a 2 point.
right, exactly.
But let's be honest here. If they go for a 2 point conversion, and we don't know that they're going to miss the extra point and go to overtime, if they go for a 2 point conversion and don't get it, Dable's really on the hot seat at that.
Well,
So this year or any year, he would be way on the hot seat. All right, Indianapolis at the Chargers. Guys, this was Frankie's third consecutive miss in a row.
jeez.
Why did you pick the Chargers over the Colts? We know that the Colts have been dominating everybody.
Oh, there's all this talk on how good the Chargers are and how amazing they are. They're sitting at 4-3 after this loss. They were at 4-2, obviously going into it. And I thought for one quick second that a Harbaugh-led team at home with a red-hot streaking Herbert might be able to be the team that puts the brakes on an Indianapolis Colts team that's steamrolling right now. Instead, what we got was a Jonathan Taylor hat trick of touchdowns and Los Angeles Chargers team that looks like they need to get back to the drawing board moving forward. And so I was thrown for a huge loop with picking the Chargers to win this game, thinking they had a chance, and they did, but not obviously they didn't. So I can't be the only one around the NFL world that's shocked about this loss and in the fashion that they lost.
You're not the only one on this show that's shocked that they lost the way they did.
Well, I'm going to come to you, Ben, because I know that you're not sold on the Colts at 6-1.
No, I'm not.
Before you answer this, I want you to think about it. What will the Colts have to do for you to be sold on them? And don't say win 3 Super Bowls in a row, because that's ridiculous. When will you be like, okay, they're a formidable team, not just say they're a playoff team because their record indicates they will make the playoffs? Although they could have completely unraveled, if that's your prediction.
I am looking at their schedule. So they play the Titans this week, so this isn't the week that they can prove anything to me. They play the Chiefs on November 23rd in Kansas City.
Okay.
If they win that game by more than 2 touchdowns, I will believe in this Colts team.
Why more than 2? Beating Kansas City at home should just be enough. Why by 2 touchdowns? That's
Because Jacksonville beat this Kansas City team.
I mean, okay. I mean, I can't. I obviously can't change your mind. I just wish that it worked a little better.
My mind works fine. I'm just not as willing to buy Roger Goodell's turd as you are.
Jeez, Ben.
Okay. All right. So we both, me and you both picked Indianapolis, and Frankie. Of course.
Yeah, it was 12-2.
Dumb over here.
All right. Then we got Green Bay, Arizona. I almost picked Arizona in this game.
So did I.
I almost did because I just have a feeling like Green Bay they're kind of, everybody was like, they look great. And I've never been sold on Jordan Love. I'm still not sold on Jordan Love. I've said that many times, and everybody's argued with me.
He's soft.
But Micah Parsons, I'm sold on. He is the reason they won this game. He's the reason they won this game. He shut down, what's his face? Not Murray, but who's their backup?
Brissett.
He shut down Brissett at the most. I think he had like 3 sacks in one drive.
Yeah, he was small.
It isn't going to happen, but if the Packers go to like a 1 or a 2 seed in the NFC, will there be votes for Micah to win MVP? I think there will be. If he keeps playing like this.
Here's the problem, Ben. They're not going to do that. And they're not going to be a 1 or 2 seed because their record is 4-1-1. They have that.
Yeah, I said it wasn't going to happen, but
they have that tie that's going to keep them in 3rd place or better. Or 3rd place or worse. Unfortunately.
Unless the rest of the league just shits the bed.
They will have to shit the bed because they're already a game or 2 behind where they need to be able to claiming the 1 or 2 seed. But they did what they had to do, which was beat Arizona on the road. 27-23. It was not ceremoniously great. Other than Micah Parsons was fantastic. It's very disruptive. All right, guys. Washington at Dallas. You guys both picked Washington. I don't know if it's because you didn't know that their receivers were completely dead, or that Jaden Daniels is going to get like rolled over in this game. But I picked Dallas because their defense or their offense has been explosive, and CeeDee Lamb's coming back. I thought he was done for this season, but he'll be coming back, and that's going to make them even more treacherous on offense. Their defense lost DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, so they're kind of a dumpster fire there. But let's talk about this, dude. They're 3-1. I think they are not a playoff team at this point, but that could change. That could change. What did you guys just say? Yeah, I probably shouldn't have picked Washington in this, or how do you feel about it?
I just kind of shrugged my shoulders at this game. It's a division game. It's Dallas. They were at home. You know, it's Jerry World. Jerry World does Jerry World things again.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have been surprised.
What year was it? Last year or the year before, where Dallas was worse at home than they were on the road?
Yeah, but it seems like every couple of years they just win a game like this at home, where you're just like, they had no business winning that game, and then they do it anyway.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think for a second that this was a home field advantage, more so than that of them having a healthier team, having CeeDee Lamb back, which was a big deal, and I didn't realize that prior to picking Washington.
Nor did I.
I wouldn't consider Washington out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, they got some injuries. Yeah, they're banged up, but they're sitting at 3-4, and Dallas is at 3-1, so they obviously would seed better in a playoff scenario. Like if the playoffs were to start today, you'd have whatchamacallit, in the NFC, you would have Washington and Dallas both looking in from the outside, not even with a wild card spot. So they're both, as of this moment, if the playoffs were to start today, wouldn't have a shot at the playoffs. So it was kind of a bogus game to begin with.
Yep. 44-22, they basically cut them in half. Let's move on. 3-1 are the Cowboys, 3-4 are the Commanders. Both teams still very much in the thick of things. Though if the playoffs were today, as Frankie stated, they would not be in it.
Nope.
All right. Falcons at 49ers, Sunday Night Football. Dang, dude. The Falcons had a chance at this until they blew it. They blew it on a massive scale, which upsets me, of course, Michael Penix being my guy and hating the 49ers as I do. The 49ers, though, let's talk about it. They're 5-2. The Seahawks are 5-2. The Rams are 5-2. Are they the best division in football right now?
They have to be, don't they?
Look
at the divisions.
Unless you're not believing the records.
The only record I maybe don't believe is the Niners, and that's just because of their injuries.
Same here. But here's the thing: if they were fully healthy, that 5-2 might be better than that.
That 5-2 is legit if they're fully healthy.
So I don't know. We'll see as the season progresses. But right now, the AFC West and the
NFC West
are both. Well, and the AFC West are both looking to be like the better divisions.
I just hate 3 of the 4 teams in the AFC West, so I refuse to call it entertaining.
All of them used to be my direct rivals, really. So, yeah. Got no love for any of them. But we all were on... Well, no. Me and Frankie were on Atlanta. Mine was just hopeful. I didn't really think Atlanta was going to win, which is probably not smart to take picks that way. I hate saying the word San Francisco is going to win. I just hate that. All right, Monday Night Football, there were two games. We had Tampa Bay and the Lions. This game was a marquee matchup, it looked like. And then
The game happened.
the Lions went up early, and then Baker Mayfield did what Baker Mayfield does, brought him back. I think it was like 9. They brought him
It was
back.
14-9 for a while.
Yeah. They were up 14 nothing, and then they came back to 9. And then I was like, okay, he's gonna pull it off. And they lost Mike Evans to a broken clavicle.
Yep.
Just changes a lot of things. He was okay. Baker Mayfield was characteristically not himself last night. He was overthrowing and underthrowing guys like crazy.
That's why he's MVP material.
Was driving me nuts. Because he usually, I mean, there's like a 60-yard pass that he just his guy was wide open and he just underthrew him. And then he ended up throwing a ball to get Mike Evans killed. And then he overthrew and underthrew at least 3 other passes. And I'm like, that's just not characteristically how he...
Including 2 clear touchdowns to Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, which I don't understand because they were in a dome with no weather factors. It's just a bizarre game for him. I mean, maybe that's his stinker game. And again, teams... I think the great teams like Buffalo, the Buccaneers, the Lions, they need to have the occasional loss to ground them and bring them back. Because there's a reason that there's only one 1972 Dolphins. There's a reason.
Imagine how many penalties weren't called back then.
Yeah. That pressure is palpable. And when let's say you go 14-0 and there's so much pressure to continue winning, and then you go and lose, like immediately you're like sad about the loss, but you're also like, I look at it this way. I just watched the Mariners lose Game 7 of the ALCS, but now I went outside, I smoked a cigarette, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have to worry about baseball. Like, I don't have to like feel terrified of losing, again next year. Yeah. So it's like that kind of pressure. I can't imagine, as I know what it's like as a fan. I can't imagine what it's like as a player to think I got to keep winning and winning and winning because of all this pressure. So we need these losses to reset and like, okay, the pressure's off. We're still number one. We're still a great team. We just lost. And that's part of sports. I mean, it's great, right? But the Lions really didn't. They never were in question. But both teams are now 5-2 in the NFC, and so the NFC is full of 5-2, chock full of 5-2. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this all plays out. The second Monday night game, the Houston Texans come to Seattle, and this is 19-27. This was like a way closer game than it was on paper. Seattle had 4 turnovers, and they were up by 2 scores with a few minutes left to go. And the defense was phenomenal. It does say they gave up 19 points, but one of those was a fumble in the end zone by
Which was a weird play.
Well, first of all, the game started off with the safety that they called off.
Yeah.
And then we got a second safety called off.
Yep.
And those 4 points plus the ball back, that changes a lot of... Yep. I mean, we were already dominant, and I was never worried for a second during this game. Like, we just kept doing... like, Cooper Kupp threw an interception, and I was like... I laughed. I just laughed.
So did I.
Even bad. I just fucking laughed. Because I was like, why...
He's never thrown a completion.
I'm like, we're up 14-0. Jackson Smith and Jigga was wide open. You just overthrew him by 10 feet. Why are we calling dumbass plays like that when we're in?
He never even had a completion.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This game was really weird, and I'm like almost mad that they scored 19 on us because it was way... I mean, C.J. Stroud that last touchdown was pure luck. He was rushed on the throw. He threw a bad throw, and his receiver just made a really great low catch. But we all were on Seattle. No surprise there. So again on this week, 10-4 for me. Frankie 8-6. Ben, don't be winning every week like this. 12-2. Ben says the league is so predictable. Let's see how you do this week, Benny boy. If it's so predictable. All right. That concludes week 7. Let's move on to week 8. One thing I'm noticing, guys, and for you guys that are watching the unedited version of this is something that's exclusive and will someday be like a Patreon only, subscriber only type of scenario. Guys, what we do here in predicting these games, we say the same thing 3 times. We're like, I'm picking this team, here's why, and then we talk for a second, and then we go, yeah, I'm just on this team, and here's why. And then we do it a 3rd time. So let's just be mindful, and that's all 3 of us. I'm like, I only noticed it because I'm trying to edit them down to 3 minutes apiece. We can talk for more than that, but just know that they're going to be edited down to 3 minutes or under, so I can get them posted. But yeah, I was like, dude, we say this. We literally go, I just don't like Sam Darnold. I really don't. Yeah, I don't like Sam Darnold. Like, we say it like 3 times. So let's just be mindful of that. And if you do it anyway, I don't really care. I'll edit it, but because I don't want us to look like we're just redundant fucks. But for those of you watching this particular unedited version, we are redundant fucks. All right, guys. Week 8 starts with Ben being super duper excited. And why is Ben super duper excited? Because he gets to play the Chargers. This is a winnable game.
No, it's not.
Ben,
I'm going to stop you right there. No, it is not.
tell me why. Why is
Carson Wentz is our quarterback. Our entire team looks like...
Hold on. Carson Wentz took a team 14-3 to a Super Bowl. Then he gave way to, what's his face? To actually
8 years ago!
What? Like, careers are longer than 8 years for quarterbacks.
If either of you pick the Vikings in this game, I'm going to call you a dumb fuck. I'm going to call you a dumb fuck. It's just what's going to happen.
Do I risk it?
I beg you to pick the Vikings. Please pick the Vikings. I will go off on you. Anybody, if you bet money on the league, if you bet money on these games, and you bet on the Vikings, you are a fucking dipshit.
All right.
There's no shot in hell we're winning this game. It's going to be 42-0 at halftime. Chargers by 1 million.
I'm going to take the Vikings.
You're stupid. You're so stupid.
Frankie, who you got?
I think I'm going to take the Chargers because they're at home, and I can't see them losing 2 in a row at home. So I'm taking.
Frankie, can I ask you a question? Because Damon won't.
You put all your faith in the Chargers this time around, and they were at home, and they got blown out by the Clots.
Well, the Vikings aren't the Clots.
Okay.
No, we're not. Can I ask you a question, Frankie?
Yeah.
Because Damon's an asshole and won't give me an honest answer, and I know you will. Do you like watching Carson Wentz play football?
I've seen worse.
We all have. Spencer Rattler exists, but do you enjoy watching Carson Wentz play football?
I don't dislike watching him play football.
There's something wrong with both of you. Carry on.
I'll give you an honest answer. I'd rather see J.J. McCarthy because he's your given starter. And
I don't want to see either of them.
Well,
cut them both, please.
Those are the 2 guys that you have on your team. If you want to entertain Russell Wilson, I would way rather see that than either of these 2. How's that for honesty?
Somehow that's worse.
Right.
I don't know how.
It's a quarterback that you'd be happy with.
Josh Allen. If you guys keep mocking my arm thing, I'm just not going to show up one of these weeks.
I don't know.
I didn't know that's what it was.
I was stretching.
You do an arm thing?
I'll go like this sometimes, and I thought Frankie was mocking me.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
No.
I thought it was like throwing up a flag. Like,
No.
all
We're
right,
going to talk about the next game.
let's move on. You got 2 on the Chargers, and 1 I'm picking the Vikings.
You're so... Can I ask you a question? Why the fuck are you picking the Vikings other than to piss me the fuck off?
Because I wanted you to call me a dumb fuck, and then if by chance the Minnesota Vikings win, I can come back here and just fucking rail on you.
I'll make it... I'll make you a deal. If the Vikings win the game this week, this is how confident I am we're going to lose. If the Vikings win the game this week, I will quit this show forever. That is my wager.
That helps you. That doesn't help me.
No, it actually hurts me because I like doing this show.
Well, we wouldn't have a show if there's just 2 of us. So I'm not even thinking that dumb shit. If you quit the show, I'm done. I'm
not quitting the show. It was a joke wager.
There will be no more.
It was a joke wager.
Not worth it anymore.
It was a joke wager.
Minnesota wins, so I can just come back here and make you crawl into a fucking hole.
I'll be happy if we win, but we're not going to.
All right. All right. You got... I mean, this is real, folks. We really hate each other right now. This is the entertaining.
I'm in the middle.
I'm a fucking idiot because I picked Ben's team. That is...
No, you're a dumb fuck.
A dumb fuck. Yeah. Great.
Really an upgrade, actually.
Frankie.
Yes.
Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Why did my screen say that?
Miami.
Okay. Miami at Atlanta. I kind of think I know what we're all going to do here, but let's go through the formalities. What do you got?
I'm picking the team that's going to win. It's the right thing to do. I'm not going to bullshit and say things 3 times this week. Atlanta at home. Bijan has a day.
Ben?
Mike McDaniel might be fired at halftime. Atlanta.
He should have been fired at halftime, at the 3rd quarter, the end of the 4th quarter, after his press conference, from the moment he said the winning games thing. But somehow he's still there. I don't see how he gets fired at all the rest of the season.
Nothing to do with capri pants, though.
If he hasn't been fired yet, I don't understand. Dude, part of me wants to say Miami's going to win this game. Part of me wants to say that. But
He's trying to make me mad now.
I won't say it.
But he's not wrong, Ben, because there is part of me that thinks they could win this game, too. They got to win one game, or more than one, just like the Jets. What game's it going to be?
Game. Like, Atlanta's like, great, awesome, we get to play Miami this week.
Right.
Miami has still scored a lot of points this year.
So,
Except for last week.
It's not, yeah, last week was, I mean, I picked them because they were going to score points, and they scored 6. So, I mean,
Shows you what happens when you trust Mike McDaniel.
Ben, I'm going to it's not even him. I don't know, dude. I was like, they still score points for some reason. They just didn't. And again, it was Cleveland's defense. Let's be realistic. I should have realized that and been like, okay, not going to happen. But Atlanta's defense is not Cleveland's defense. Let's be realistic.
They're very middle of the road, yeah.
So I do expect more points from Miami. I just think that Atlanta might, because they're at home. If this was in Miami, I would definitely pick Miami. All right.
I wouldn't.
The Bears go to Baltimore, and the Baltimore is reeling. They're 1-5. They were my Super Bowl pick. What is going on? Frankie, they put on a show against you guys. They didn't quite pull it out, but that win for you guys looks a little less magnanimous because of what they've done since then.
right already.
What do you got here in this game? It's in Atlanta. It's in Baltimore.
Well, we still don't have any Wham Jackson playing. So I got to pick Chicago right now. They're on a, 4-game win streak, is it? Ben Johnson's starting to get a flow for things. I'm taking Chicago at Baltimore. Baltimore, sorry, but not sorry.
Ben, what do you got here?
Is Lamar actually not playing this week? Is that real?
Not playing.
Damon? Huh?
Not playing.
I begrudgingly am picking the Bears. I hate I'm like Dames when he picks the 49ers. I feel like I'm going to throw up right now.
No, I understand. I mean, that's why Frankie picked Tennessee over New England last week.
Jeez. Damon, when you pick the Niners to win a game, do you just kind of feel like you're going to throw up all over your microphone?
I actually throw up in my throat a little bit. All right,
Yeah,
guys,
me too.
I'm going to pick the Bears. We're all three going to be on the Bears, but here's the thing. 1-5, is Lamar Jackson the only reason this team it could be good at all? Are they done?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this year they're toast. But is this the end of the Ravens as we know it?
Is this the end of John Harbaugh?
Ooh, I don't think. I mean, he can. If they ever come to a point where they want to fire John Harbaugh, they'll just say, "Hey, dude, we're going to give you an opportunity to say that you're stepping down."
Yeah.
Or they'll trade him.
We respect you enough to not just say you're.
He'll get a statue out front.
I mean, the guy.
He won a Super Bowl there. He'll get a statue.
He's a great coach.
Yes.
Coach.
This is not on him. I know he's had a rough year, but this is not on him completely.
I mean, when you lose your MVP player, I mean, your MVP caliber player, there's a lot that you have to deal with. I mean, you can't really fire a coach.
And your backup for that player is Cooper Rush. Yeah, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, coach is like, I didn't pick him. You got
that fucking guy. That's not my guy. Fuck.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're all in the Bears. We'll see what goes on with the. I'm kind of fascinated. I hope the Ravens lose every game the rest of the way. I think that would.
They won't.
That would be great.
Lamar's going to come back though
at some point, but then we'll actually see if he's like the factor, or if they're just mediocre when he comes back.
Damon, what are you going to do if Lamar comes back and they win like 8 straight?
Well, then I'll be like, all right, he's the real deal. He's what we thought he was at the beginning of the season.
I could see that happening. I don't think that's impossible, by the way.
No, it's certainly not. I mean, football is weird, and it bounces weird ways. So here we go. Buffalo at Carolina. They both have the same amount of wins. How do you feel about that, Frankie?
Buffalo's going to win this game.
Okay. Is that all? That's all I have to say about that.
My wires were pulled.
All right, Frankie, I got to ask you before I move on to Ben. If, for some reason, Carolina wins this game, you got to be worried at that point.
Yeah.
You got to be like, what's going on? What? We lost 2, then we had a bye week to get ourselves, and we lost to Carolina?
That's why we're not going to lose.
I mean, I'm certainly not picking Carolina. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical that what would happen in your mind.
In my mind, a lot would happen, but in the minds of every other Bills fan, it would be like, fire McDermott, get rid of Bean, do this, do that. And a bunch of things would happen. But we're going to win this game coming out of a bye week, getting healthy, getting 2 guys back from suspension. That's going to help with the run game and keep Rico at bay. So we win this game.
All right. Ben? Who you got?
The Bills are going to take out all their frustration, anger, and malcontent of the 2 games before the bye on the lowly, sad, pathetic, Andy Dalton-led Carolina Panthers.
That's true. They are led by Andy Dalton. The Red Rocket returns. The Red
This
Rocket,
game is
that's
awful.
the reason I'm not excited about it. Is because I'd way rather watch Bryce Young play against the Bills. Because Andy Dalton's the past. Bryce Young is the potential future. It just makes sense for me. But I'm going to go Buffalo also. Just because I believe that having the time off, getting the players back, is going to be enough. All right, guys, this is interesting. The 0-7 New York Jets go into Cincinnati with a newly refurbished offense featuring Joe Flacco. The defensive line is probably the strong point for the Jets, but let's be honest, there's not really a strong point for the Jets. Ben, what do you see happening in this game?
I have no clue. These are two teams I wrote off 3 weeks ago. I don't know, man. Granted, when I wrote the Bengals off, they were still playing whatever that Washington guy's name was. Jake Browning. That was his name.
Still is.
Can you confirm that? Is that still legally his name? Anyway, I'm picking the Bengals with so much hesitation. I could see this being the game the Jets defense wins them, honestly.
All right. I already kind of feel like we have a shrine developing just underneath the camera in Frankie's location to Joe Flacco. And I used to call him Joe Flacco, but now I call him Flacco because that's what you call him.
Yeah.
I don't know what it really is, and I don't care. I just like the way you say it. So it's Joe Flacco right now. And with your shrine down there, who do you have in this game?
You already know. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals at home, and if the Jets come in there and beat Shane Falco or Joe Flacco,
Who's Shane Falco?
we can make a good movie out of it. I take the Bengals at home.
All right. I'm not giving the Jets any credit for anything. We're all going to be on Cincinnati.
Ooh, Shane Falco, man, woo!
Could the Jets be 0-17? I think it's possible.
Oh my God, I would. The only reason I don't want them to get the first pick of the draft. I really don't want them to have that. They don't deserve that.
No,
I agree.
I mean, who do I want to have the first pick of the draft? The Ravens would be good. I mean, that'd be good.
That would be funny.
You're not going to pick a quarterback, right? For the first time, it wouldn't be a quarterback for a long time. I don't want the Browns to have the first pick of the draft again.
Speaking of not deserving it, the Browns.
The Browns, they're going to win too many games, though.
I think they already have.
I don't want the Titans to get the first pick again. Who else is really bad? I don't want the Saints. I'd be all right with.
Whoever gets the first pick in the draft, I think it's going to be like a 2 or 3 win team. I'm serious. There's going to be that one really awful 2-win team this year. I could see.
I mean, that makes the Jets winning 2 games to get there.
I think that's the ceiling of the first pick. It is conceivable the Jets don't win a game.
Okay. All right. I was like, you think the Jets are going to get 2 wins to get the first? The Dolphins? Did the Dolphins get the first pick and actually get a quarterback?
That would also require the Jets to win 2 games.
Well, no, here's the thing. If the Jets don't win, oh no, they already have, they would be picking a quarterback. Never mind. Absolutely be picking a quarterback. The Titans would not be picking a quarterback. I mean, otherwise you just wasted your last pick on Cam Ward. Right?
What if they trade Cam Ward and draft another quarterback? I would laugh.
I mean, who's going to want... we don't know what he's going to be. He's still early. We don't know what he's going to be. He certainly doesn't have a lot of players to boast about. All right, let's move on. San Francisco at Houston. I feel like this could be a trap game for the 49ers because they are banged up. They're totally banged up. There you go. He's got the pen. I'm going to pick this game first. I'm going to pick San Francisco, begrudgingly, just because I saw us run roughshod through the entirety of that team and not even, I mean, literally, we gave them every, government bailout you could possibly give to, I mean, they're on WIC, they're on fucking SNAP, they're getting Medicaid, they're getting housing Section 8 from us, and we still just fucking torched them to the point where I'm embarrassed for them as a franchise.
The Seahawks offense looked like they were trying to lose the game at one point.
It did at times. They're like, all right, we went up 14-0 by accident. Let's go ahead and let Cooper Kupp throw the ball. So, yeah, I got the 49ers, but if the team that showed up and put up 44 points a couple Monday nights ago shows up, we could have a game. And 49ers are banged up. Frankie, go ahead.
San Francisco.
Rice-A-Roni.
Because of that.
Because of that. All right. Ben?
After watching that pitiful performance on Monday Night Football by Houston, I have been given no reason to pick them. I am on the edge of writing them off for the rest of the year. I'm picking San Francisco. I'm not writing Houston off yet, but I'm right there.
Man, think about how promising a career C.J. Stroud started out with. In theory, you should not be as good as he was as a rookie. But also in theory, you should be able to improve on that the second, third year. And he's just not. He's regressing.
You definitely shouldn't be as good as he was as a rookie and then be this bad just a couple years later.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not using last night's game as a metric for that because he had zero time to throw the ball. Leonard Williams was wearing his jersey most of the game. And it was fun to watch. I was like, this is awesome, dude.
No jersey swap at the end of that one.
Yeah, he can't move left to right. He can't move forward. If he goes backwards, he gets sacked. It was wonderful. But yeah, he's going to be seeing ghosts in this game. I'll just tell you that. And that's why I think the Niners win despite being banged up. This is interesting, Frankie. The 2-5 Browns go into the 5-2 New England Patriots. All right. We already know that Cleveland's not great. But we also know that their quarterback is getting his third start. And he hasn't been a complete disaster. They did put it on they put it on Miami, which they should have. I mean, if you're a bad team, if you're going to be a good team, you should put it on the really bad teams. Now, the Patriots, I don't think, have played a defense this difficult in a while. And they are at home. It's going to be interesting to see Drake May play against this defense. Go ahead and tell me what you think for this game.
New England, coming off a pretty big win that Mike Vrabel wanted more than anything in the planet, was to go into his team that fired him, that shouldn't have. He wanted to stick it to him. They're riding high on Drake May right now, being in the same division as them with the Bills. I don't want to say this, but I take New England at home. I don't think Cleveland is got anything right now. Yeah, they got a defense, but I don't see them going to Foxborough.
Okay.
And
before I move on to Frankie, or before I move on to Ben, let me ask you one more question on this. What amount of points can New England score on this defense that would alarm you further?
if they get over 3 touchdowns,
So 21?
if they get over 3 touchdowns, I'd be
all right. Yeah, I would say. I'm going to go one more. I'm going to say 20. If they put up 28 on this defense, I'm going to be like, wow, New England is really coming on. Ben, what do you got?
I have good news for Frankie. I don't think either team is scoring 20 points in this game. I think this is going to be like a 19-7, 19-16 type game, and I think New England wins. New England's defense has been sneaky good this year, which isn't really a surprise when you look at who their head coach is. I don't think Cleveland has enough juice to go to Foxborough and win. They just don't have the firepower on offense.
No, I agree. I think, go ahead, Frankie.
I forgot to say, this is most important. This is the trap game of the week for Frankie.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say that too. And I think if this quarterback had a couple more starts under his belt, that they might be more of a threat to the Patriots. But I just don't see him going to New England right now with the minimal amount of experience that he has and beating that team.
Can I ask you guys a Dylan Gabriel question? Are we lumping him in with like the Spencer Rattler, Carson Wentz, J.J. McCarthy lump of bad quarterbacks right now, or are we lumping him in the question marks?
I wouldn't do that right now. I mean, he won a game. Convincing.
So did Carson Wentz
convincingly.
Fair enough.
I mean, they beat them down. They beat Miami down, dude. Like
It's still the Dolphins.
31-6. I mean, that's an ass whooping. I'll let Frankie.
If they do that to New England, I might believe in them, but
Well, I think that's why Frankie's calling trap game, because he's not sure on this quarterback. He's not sold 100% on the Patriots. Of course, he has a little wish that maybe they would beat them. That may be factoring in. But, yeah, I think that's why you call it a trap game, because you're just not... You know how good Cleveland's defense is, and you're like, all right, they shut down a pretty decent Miami offense, which I know that sounds weird to say, but they can score, and they didn't. So, we'll see.
I want to point out New England has one of the easier schedules in the league. They already won their most difficult game, which was going to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Their record is going to be slightly inflated at the end of the year. So
Well, I feel that
let's...
way about Buffalo also, just because of the two other basement dwellers in that division that they're automatic wins every year.
Yeah, but go look at who the Patriots have been playing. It's like they just played Tennessee. They're playing Cleveland this week. They played New Orleans. They played Carolina when Carolina was looking like they were headed for where Tennessee is right now. You know.
Yeah. I will be watching this game for sure. Okay. The New York Football Giants go into Philadelphia for the cheesesteaks. All right, this is a rematch, guys. They're already in their second game against each other this season.
Why are these games so close? I don't like it when they do this.
And magically, the Giants beat Philly in the first game. Saquon Barkley got 6 touches, I think, in that game. That was absurd. Yeah, there's only 1 week in between these games, just so everybody...
I don't like it when they do this.
I mean,
spread these out.
Sometimes it happens in the schedule. I don't really love it either, but hockey.
This was a
sometimes
Loch
you play
22
back-to-back
production.
against the same team, so that's really and baseball, you do that. So,
Actually, in the loss to the Giants, Saquon had 12 touches for 58.
Please
it
remember
was
to
the
like,
game before.
share,
It was the game
comment, and
before where
subscribe.
Saquon only had 6.
No, yeah.
Right. What do you got here, Ben? You think the Giants are going to sweep?
I'm not going to say the Giants have no chance in hell because they just did it 2 weeks ago. But they have like a puncher's chance. I put it at like 1% chance they go into Philly and win. That crowd's going to be pissed off. Jalen Hurts can go from looking like a top 5 quarterback to a bottom 5 quarterback in the same drive. I have no clue what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on with Saquon either, for that matter. I think the Eagles are going to look choppy. They're going to look inconsistent. They're not going to be fun to watch, but I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, dude, the league changes because the first 2 weeks of the season, Jalen Hurts was looking MVP-ish. I mean, he was doing all the right things. His numbers weren't like, woo, but like, his play was valuable. His play was the reason they were winning games. And now, it's all kind of like...
Wishy-washy?
It feels like a puzzle that's just being unboxed. Like, all the pieces are there, but they're not quite put together yet. Frankie, I'm picking the Eagles to get a revenge game at home. Are you with Ben and I, or are you going to go Jackson Dart and Scataboo?
No, I'm not. I'm taking the Eagles at home. They're not going to lose to the Giants divisional play. They're not going to lose to them twice. And the first time it was an embarrassment to them. And it's when you go into Lincoln Financial Field, the fans are crazy. They're evil. They're nasty. They're mean. There's going to be a lot of people that are heckling Jackson Dart. They're going to be heckling Scataboo. So it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but lopsided.
All right.
I think the Philadelphia.
I got a question for you, and then I'm going to bring it home with Ben. And just really quickly, if they lose this game, they will be 2-6, and they'll be 2-4 with Jackson Dart. Do you at any point go back to Russell Wilson, or is he just done? Do you just work out this experiment with Jackson Dart and just get him ready for next year? What do you do?
I say you stay with Jackson Dart. You drafted him. Your season's over. Finish out with him. Let him finish and complete a year. Russell experiment's over. If I'm Russell Wilson, I move on from football after this year.
That's a perfect segue. Ben, do you at all at this point reconsider bringing Russell into Minnesota?
If you are the Giants, at no point should the name Russell Wilson as our starting quarterback cross your lips again.
Not what I asked. I already know that we all three feel that way. My question to you is, do you, and I want you to be emotionally honest with me here, is Russell Wilson a better option for you in Minnesota than Carson Wentz?
No. I think they're equal.
Right. I disagree.
They're the same player at this point. Carson's just a little more mobile because Russell's old.
I don't think they were ever the same player, but I digress. The question was worth asking.
They're both backup quarterbacks.
I almost wish I wouldn't have asked. All right, we're all three on Philly. Let's move on. Tampa Bay, banged up Tampa Bay now, who may have Tyler Lockett on the team at this point, or they may
Tyler Lockett may have already signed a contract as we're recording this, and it just hasn't been reported yet.
True. Going to the Saints.
Hey, Ian Rappaport.
Frankie, is there any way that the Saints can beat Tampa Bay?
No.
No way whatsoever.
Nope.
So, okay. Tampa Bay.
Can I guess your reasoning? Just let me guess. Is his first name Spencer and his last name Rattler?
It's the Saints.
Oh, wow, that's a good reason, too.
They're just not good.
He's like, they've had bags over their heads since Drew Brees left. It's not going to change this weekend.
No.
All right, I'm also going to go with Tampa Bay. They'll be 6-2, and the Saints will be 1-7. Ben?
I will make a wager. If the Saints somehow, miraculously, foolishly win this game, I will come on this show and I will proclaim Spencer Rattler to be the best quarterback in the league. I won't believe it for a second, but I will say it.
That's fine, because I can just cut the clip however I want to.
Yeah. Snippety snip.
I will make myself look like a total dumbass if somehow New Orleans wins this game. That is how confident I am that is not going to happen.
You got to make it interesting. If you're going to come up with some sort of ridiculous, crazy wager, if you lose the wager, you got to run down your street naked, screaming, Spencer Rattler's the best quarterback in the league, and then report back the names.
After I get out of prison?
Whatever you got to do, buddy.
Just run by a school.
I would have to record this show from jail. Frankie, what happened to your background?
I'm partying.
Hardy. All right. The show must go on. You're fine. You're just going to be in a tiny circle anyway. So, all right. We're all in Tampa. This game, guys, I already know that we're not fans of the Dallas Cowboys, but we know what they're capable of points-wise. At Denver, at Mile High. I'm going to watch this game, and I'm going to enjoy watching this game. I was repping Denver in the last segment, but not this time. I do think I'm going to let you guys go first. Ben, who do you got? Dallas at Denver, 3-1 Cowboys, 5-2 Broncos.
I refuse to pick Dallas in any scenario that isn't them playing a crappy team. I'm picking Denver.
Whoa. So Denver is one of the good teams?
Denver is a mediocre team. Dallas is crappy.
Okay.
Scratch that. Half of Dallas is crappy. Their defense is crappy. Their offense is good, but it's not good enough to outweigh that crappy defense.
Okay. No, I like that. I mean, you found a way to get there. Hey, Frankie, what do you got for this one?
Denver at home. Better record at home.
Better team.
Defense.
Guys, I'm gonna pick Dallas.
You're insane.
I'm gonna pick Dallas because I watched what the Giants offense did to this Denver team early. And I just think that Dallas is going to do that, but they're not going to stop. They're not going to just straight up stop like the Giants did. And the reason for that is I think Jackson Dart is going to be a better quarterback than Dak Prescott at some point. But he's not right now. Dak Prescott, I don't think, has ever really been the problem in Dallas. Some people would argue that, and I would entertain that argument. I
don't think Dak is the problem. I think his attitude has been the problem at times.
That's potentially true, but he, given the fact that he's had no run game for the last 4 years plus, since
they got one now.
Yeah, right. So their offense is actually able to be balanced. And when you get CeeDee Lamb back, god dang, I'm on Dallas. I really
Jameson Williams revenge game.
don't want Dallas to win. I just have a feeling that they're going to go in there and they're going to win. All right. So that gives us a little break from all picking the same games 5 and 6 in a row. Because of that, I legitimately think Dallas is going to win. All right, Tennessee at the Colts. Are the Colts going to go 7-1, Ben?
We're back to picking the same teams. I don't think any of us are picking the Titans unless one of us is smoking meth. I'm picking the Colts. I don't think I need to explain that. Go look at the Titans roster. They just cut Tyler Lockett. Pack it in, boys.
To be clear, they did not cut him. He asked for and was granted his release.
I don't care how they worded it. He's not there anymore.
I still think there's something to that. There's a reason that he asked. So he obviously has something in mind.
Retirement.
No, he would have just retired. He wouldn't have asked to be released if he was.
Okay, I'm going to put my hood up because this is a conspiracy theory.
Okay, yeah, let's do that because a player that wants to retire doesn't say, release me.
Okay, my hood won't go up because of my headphones, but Conspiracy Ben, I think he asked for his release so he can sign a one-day contract with the Seahawks and retire.
I was going to say, that's the only...
That's what I think happened.
That makes any sense.
That's what I think happened.
And the only reason... I don't even think that's a conspiracy. I think that's a pretty good take, Ben. And the reason that I would say that I believe that's a good take is because they weren't using him. Like you said, he's got 21 targets in 7 games. He only started 1. He might just be like, I'm too old, I'm done. Let me get a release so I can not have to play out the rest of this season. I can sign with Seattle for 1 day and retire where I should have retired.
Can I propose an idea, a pitch even? And Tyler Lockett, if you're watching this and this is what you're going to do, I propose this is what you do. The Seahawks' next home game is November 9th against Arizona. I think they should do it at the game that day, before the game.
So, yeah, I debunked the conspiracy theory and make it an actual theory. All right. Frankie, who do you have in this matchup? Are you smoking meth?
No. He's leaving Tennessee. He's going to sign a contract with Indianapolis. Indianapolis wins this game.
What?
That's a conspiracy theory right there.
Okay, now you're smoking crack. You switched from meth to crack.
Daniel Jones to Tyler Lockett for the win.
What?
You know, if that shit happens, I am a legend on this show.
I mean, I would be like, all right, guys. we are about to crack up. We are about to crash out. So let's finish up with these two games really strong. This is just fucking fun, okay?
Damn it.
This is fucking fun. Because you have the Packers, whom I'm not sold on. You have the guy that sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, playing against Aaron Rodgers in Aaron Rodgers' current home. This is must-see TV for me. I will let Frankie go first because I can tell Ben's take is going to be something to behold. Go ahead, Frankie. Who do you have?
Green Bay, because Aaron Rodgers couldn't get taken out by his own offensive lineman after that celebration. So now Jordan Love's going to come in and polish him.
Oh, I wish we would have talked about that at the top of the show. Let's talk about it now.
Why not?
What was the guy's name that did it?
I don't know, but he fighting got yelled at after.
Something Jones. Anyway, like, what are you doing?
What was that?
What are you doing? You're tackling like the most valuable set in your franchise.
Broderick Jones was his name.
Broderick Jones. When your job is to make sure that he doesn't get tackled at all.
Was it a conspiracy? Oh, you think?
I mean, I feel like maybe he hates, maybe you like truly hates him, but I mean it was after like a 70-yard touchdown.
He was
And
celebrating.
He was celebrating by doing the thing that he's supposed to protect him from being done to him.
Am I the only one that wishes Rodgers would have tore his Achilles on that again?
That would have been, I mean, that would have been means for what, but Aaron Rodgers' reaction. That's what I want to talk about.
Rodgers acted like he was hurt after that happened, by the way.
Well, he's a pussy anyway.
Well, yes, he is.
He would do that just to make the guy feel bad. But it's
Yes.
like, whatever happened to people just being like genuinely nice? Like, and be like, hey, bro, like, you're supposed to not actually make that happen to me. So,
Yeah.
But
Celebrate, be pissed for a second, move on. Yeah.
But I'm okay, by the way. Like, but to make a spectacle of the guy, this makes me fucking hate Aaron Rodgers even more.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
If I was the coach of that team, I would make the executive decision to take the C off Aaron Rodgers' jersey for his reaction to that. And I would bench Broderick Jones. I would punish them both.
I don't hate that.
Jones for being an idiot and doing that, and Rodgers for his bad reaction.
But here, oh, that's tough, dude.
See, I don't even know what his reaction was. Was there like a conference? Was there a
He
media?
pushed Broderick Jones.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, he
Oh.
pushed him, Damon. Did you not see that? He pushed him.
Yeah, I mean, he was pissed.
Well, he just
It
got
wasn't
tackled.
a light, like, playful push. It was like a get the fuck away from me type.
Yeah, it was like he reacted to that guy tackling him worse than he reacted to any defensive player that I've ever seen tackle him.
I would be mad too, though.
Okay,
So
but
would I. But
there's a such thing as like,
handle it better.
I'm thinking about Bobby Knight being a coach, like kicking a fucking chair across. Like, you can be mad.
Yeah.
There's also like a decorum and a professionalism that doesn't make you kick a chair across the fucking gymnasium. Like,
Touche.
have a little bit of like, don't throw your teammate under the bus. Be like, dude, you address that shit. And Aaron Rodgers is old enough to know like what's cool and what's not cool, but he doesn't. He's a selfish fucking piece of shit.
I don't like him either. I want to see him rip his kneecaps off.
I think they're going to win, though. I think
Yep.
the Steelers are going to win this game. And
Nope.
what do you think?
I think Micah Parsons is going to demolish Aaron Rodgers.
I would love every second of that.
Yes.
I could legitimately see him getting 3 or 4 sacks. I think that O-line hates him. I don't think they care. I think
Well, that's another thing, Ben. Like, that's why I want to, like, obviously, I think both players need to be talked to about the situation, but, like, this isn't college football. Like, these guys are old enough to, they're grown ass men, dude. Like, they don't need a college lesson where they're sitting out or getting their captainship removed. Something that's going to be detrimental to, like, the core of that team. Like,
I mean,
to me,
Broderick Jones is
you
only
take Aaron Rodgers
24.
captain away in the middle of a season where you're leading your division, like, you're a dumbass coach.
I
Like,
wouldn't have given him captaincy in the first place, but that's a whole other
I mean,
conversation.
the team voted on that, so whatever. I don't know how he won it with the team voting on it, but anyway, like, I just feel like you gotta address them both. Maybe be like, hey guys, I don't want to see this. Kind of like, I don't want to see my player get tackled by his own guy, and then I don't want to see my own guy like want to throttle him and like murder him. And
Tomlin looked pissed too at both of
yeah,
them.
I would be pissed at both of them if I'm being honest. But yeah, I wouldn't like do anything publicly that anybody else outside of the organization can see. I would handle it in house, and I think that's what makes Mike Tomlin a great coach is that he will do that. But
I think he
also-
probably quietly fined both of them, like very quietly.
Either way, it was handled in house appropriately.
Frankie, who do you got in this game?
I took Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
I also took Green Bay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game to watch, and I do hope Aaron Rodgers dies in it. Okay, last game of we're back to one Monday Night Football game.
Thank you, Jesus.
You know what? It actually worked in my favor last night, just because if it would have been on at the same time as the baseball game, I would have been ripping my fucking hair out.
True.
Even though part of it was, but once the baseball game was over, I got to watch at least the second half, like unencumbered. We had two TVs going. I went to Omaha to watch it with my brother and my cousin,
Omaha.
my kid, so I got to see everybody. And we had a pizza, and we had a gay old time like the Flintstones. All right, Monday Night Football, 7:15. Washington Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead, Ben.
I have the Chiefs, and I think Troy Aikman is taking a nap by halftime, and I think so am I.
I'm meaning the game will be over already.
Yeah, I don't think this game is going to be remotely competitive. I'm out on the Commanders at this point. You lose that bad to that crappy Cowboys team, I lose faith in you a lot.
Well, they lost to half a crappy Cowboys team. You said.
I'm going to kick you in the balls fully.
Okay. What if I only have one ball? You wouldn't know.
I don't want to know. Ask Frankie who he thinks is going to win before I.
Answer. Who you got in this game, Frankie?
The Redskins are definitely not going to win this game.
Definitely not.
Kansas City.
Would you bet a testicle on it?
What if I only have one? Then I'd have none.
That's not what I asked.
Why are we talking about the?
I would not wager. I would not wager that wrinkly thing. No.
You know what? I appreciate the fact that you are emotionally honest. Yeah. And you're like, you know what?
I kind of want that.
Even if they actually, I would not want to do that. No.
No.
No. Not at all. All right.
I wouldn't give one for a Bills Super Bowl victory.
You guys, am I going to pick Washington to win this game?
You should.
Tyler Lockett. When he touched it.
Yeah.
No, I think Kansas City has fully realized their way back to the stage, unfortunately. And I hope they get taken out. I really hope they get taken out with somebody, but it ain't going to be the Commandos.
Not this week.
Not this week, my friends. And speaking of this week, we have 6 teams on bye. We got Arizona Cardinals on bye. The Detroit Lions are on a bye. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on a bye week. The Las Vegas Raiders, unfortunately, I'd love to see that debacle this week, but they're on a bye week. The Rams basically in the entire NFC West, other than San Francisco, because Seattle is the final team that is on bye and well needed because we've been missing our two stud guys in our backfield.
If you really look at it, though, there's 9 teams on a bye because the Bengals are playing the Jets. And the Chargers are playing the Vikings. So, like, that's 9 teams on a bye. I mean...
But, if you recall, the Vikings are going to beat the Chargers.
If you recall, you're a dumb fuck.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, Frankie, do you not remember that?
I do.
I know it was like 28 minutes ago.
I remember.
Okay. I was like...
Frankie, do you remember what you ate for lunch today?
I didn't eat lunch today.
What? Frankie,
Neither did I.
when was the last time you had an 8-egg omelet?
Actually, I was going to cook one this evening
You're a
because I haven't eaten in 2 days because my puppy went to heaven
You're a
a
badass.
couple nights ago, so I'm going to have some eggs.
How many eggs are going to be in your omelet? Is my
6 eggs.
6. All right, I said 8, but I couldn't remember.
I deep fry potatoes, and then when they're cooked, I pour the egg mix on, and then I cook it into an omelet and fill it with cheese and sausage.
I want to be honest, I had the over-under on the eggs there at 4.5. I bet the over.
4.5.
There you go. How would I do a half egg?
It's like with the win total over-unders. 8.5 wins isn't possible.
No, I got the reference. I'm just like, it's funnier with eggs.
You know what else is going to be funnier with eggs? Your face.
Eggs are good.
Not when the Minnesota Vikings beat the Chargers next week.
That should be the bet, Ben. When the Vikings win this week, you have to eat 12 hard-boiled eggs.
I hate hard-boiled eggs. I couldn't do that. I'd puke. I would puke.
That's
That would be amazing
boring.
content.
Yeah, that would be
Me
amazing.
ralphing after eating 2 of them? Yeah, that'd be
amazing.
good content.
How about drink 1 raw egg?
Yeah.
No,
Hulkamania.
I puke again.
Yeah, you already said there's no chance the Vikings are going to win. So what are you scared of?
Yeah, take the bet.
I offered you guys a bet. You said no.
You said you would quit the show. Was the bet that you wanted?
I knew that's how confident I am they're going to fucking lose.
Ben.
This team sucks. I encourage anyone watching this show, and if you think I'm fucking delusional, fine, that's okay. Most people do. If you legitimately believe, to the point where you are willing to bet on the Vikings to win this game, that the Vikings are at all capable of going on the road on a short week and beating a competent football team, you should be checked into an institution because I don't know what you're smoking.
All right.
I want some of it.
I'll challenge you this. On a franchise team that has 53 men on the roster, your coach is already lost before he shows up. Should he be on the hot seat?
No, because
Hey, well,
this
then
isn't
what are you talking about?
This is not O'Connell's fault.
Sure is.
No, it's not.
You got to figure out how to win with who you got and against who you're playing. Your job literally is to say, what is the weakness of that other team and how can I win with what I have? That's your job.
I am of the firm opinion that this is not O'Connell's fault because it has come out recently that he did not necessarily love J.J. McCarthy.
Wrong.
Wait, back it up. What are you talking about?
There has been some murmurs out of the Minnesota camp that maybe he wanted to trade up and get Drake May. That's who he really wanted.
I'm sure that's probably accurate. But when you start letting your coach make your GM decisions, then you're Pete Carroll.
I mean, that worked out pretty good for you, to be fair.
Did. I mean, it did. Sometimes not.
You won a fucking Super Bowl. Fuck you.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. That Super Bowl, as much as I love it, like the way that the Seattle Seahawks address the quarterback position has frustrated me for the entirety of my life. The one time we drafted a quarterback in the first round was Rick Meyer.
How'd that work out for you, bud?
We signed Matt Flynn, And then we drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. Nobody knew what Russell Wilson was gonna be. They just picked him. He was never gonna be the starter, but he actually ended up beating Matt Flynn out in camp. And then he went on to obviously do what he did. But they've never taken the quarterback position seriously through the draft in Seattle. And maybe it's because they watched the Bears pick guys like Caleb Williams, and then the Cam Wards and the Jamarcus
Spencer Rattlers,
and all these guys that go number 1. I mean, very rarely do they turn out to be Andrew Luck, who retired after 7 years. So, I mean,
really smart.
I just don't feel like they've taken the quarterback position seriously through the draft, and everyone gives Russell Wilson as the example. I'm like, they got lucky. They got lucky with Russell Wilson, and they certainly weren't drafting him to start.
No, they weren't. I saw a documentary on that.
So, yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, good show, guys. Thank you for being here. You got a half hour. You got a half hour before 9 o'clock. So,
you're very welcome.
Good deal, guys.
I'll be here next week, unfortunately for Damon.
Yeah, and I'll be saying you're the dumb fuck.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, guys.
I can.
All right, thanks, guys.
This was a Loch 22 production. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.